Hey guys, so we're going to go over how to design a logo in Canva. We're going to go over just how to use a pre-made logo template, how to edit that, how to make an icon from scratch in Canva, and then we'll also go over how to use a combination of Canva and Illustrator to create a logo design as well. You can also use just all Illustrator and then upload your files into Canva. If you are comfortable in Illustrator, you can use Illustrator for really basic things. And so there's several options here. It just kind of depends on what your comfort levels are with Illustrator. If you don't want to use Illustrator at all, you don't have to. So we'll start off with kind of the working off of a pre-made logo template. So once you get signed into Canva, then we can start on this. So you'll have to sign in. Every year the payment plans change, so get a hold of me if you have any questions on the plans or what payment options or what we need to do that year. But for now, go ahead and get logged in. And then let's go ahead and let's search up here for logo. Logo template. So we can see there's some here. We could go with something like this maybe. Let's go click on one of these. You can try to find one that's similar. Customize this template. So if you don't have the Pro plan, you can't do this particular one. I don't know. We might be able to search for free options. Like this one's free. This one is Pro. If you zoom over on them, you can see this one's free. So let's go to this one. Customize this template. So they have a black and white version. We'll start with the white version. So they have an R here with a box over the top of it, and then the font there. So let's go ahead and just change this. We're going to put our first name here, and then your initial, your first name initial. And there you go. That's pretty simple. There's a problem with this one though, in that this font is not going to show up super well because it's so small. So I'm going to actually make this box a little thicker so that I can make my text bigger. Because once we shrink this logo down, this font is just going to disappear. Plus it's just so thin. I might actually find a different script font, so you can double click on this or triple click to get it all selected. This is on signature font, but I mean we could kind of scroll down and just see if there's a thicker font that isn't too corny. That might work better for this. We still want like a legible font, something that's readable. That one's thick, but I don't really love it. Apricots might be a little too playful. Some of these are Pro fonts. You can tell because they have the crown next to them. Definitely want something that we can read really well. Scripts are always kind of difficult to use in a logo design, but we could probably spend a lot of time doing this. Honestly, some of them might have bold sources too, like bold versions of the font. You can open up your fonts to see if they have bold. If they don't have an arrow, that means they don't come in any other additional weights. I'm going to pause the video. Okay, so I think I found a font that's halfway decent. It's called Angeletta. I feel like it's readable for the most part. It's not too hard to read. It's a little bit thicker, so it's not so thin. And also with script font, you need to make sure there's not too much extreme between the thicks and the thins. So I think that will work okay. I did size it up too, so that's about the same width as the letter form, the larger letter form here, the M. So go ahead and add that. You can use your own initials. You can use my initials. doesn't really matter. But anyway, it's really easy to customize a template in Canva. So we can delete this, we can bring over, we can make this white. So I copy pasted Command C, and then this needs to be black. And then this needs to be white. So we can make a white version and a black version, just like on the original. Okay. This is not the secondary logo, and this would be black version. Actually, this is more the black version, because the logo itself is black, and then this would be the white version, because the logo itself is white. So yeah, we have that there. You can also, besides just working off a pre-made template, you can design an icon from scratch in here. So I actually have, I'm going to add a page. I'm going to make this background color white. So click on that, and then you can click on this. Okay, so I'm going to do a completely different design. So we are going to grab the text tool, and we are going to put an M. So let's just drag in as we went to text, subheading, put an M. Let's make sure this is Montserrat. You can start typing it in here. Montserrat right here. And then we want to make sure it's maybe just bold. And I want to make it bigger, so I'm going to drag it out. Okay, so, and then we can do a Command C, Command V. You actually should do MW, so don't use your first and last initial for this. Actually put the MW on there, like I am. Let's zoom in. That's lining up pretty good. Okay, we want to kind of combine these a little bit. I don't want the W to be hanging off the edge like this, but we want it to line up nicely. Okay, so that's pretty close. So we can make a white triangle, or bring in a white triangle shape. So if we go into Elements and go to Shapes, you can find a triangle and click on it. That'll bring it in. We can change the color of the triangle. We're going to make it white. And we need to change the position. So we'll go to Position, Layers, and we can drag that, I believe, on top of everything. And we can rotate it with this little rotate icon. We want to rotate it a little bit. And we're just going to tuck it in. If I can move it here. It probably needs to be shrunk down and made skinnier. Something like this. Get the rotation on it correct. And the width. There. So we have that. We kind of combine them visually anyway, and then we can put back into Elements, go to Shapes, and we want to bring in a circle. Make that black. We start with black with logo design. We don't want to do color right away. I'm going to make this about as thick as the width of the M letter form, so that those kind of match up. And then we just want to bring in 3 of these. I think it's a little too big actually, but we can do a shift click on these. Oops, on these 3. If I can get this to work for me. I gotta zoom in, shift click to grab them all. Position. If you go to Arrange instead of Layers, you can center them down the middle if they aren't already centered, and you can space evenly vertically, which they pretty much already were. And I'm actually going to shrink these down so that they fit about right here. There. So that is looking pretty good for our logo. And then I want to bring in my text. I might make it all caps. Or wait, how did I do that? Yeah. Oh, let's just do undercase. And then design can be all uppercase. And there we have our logo design. I would probably make design bigger by highlighting that line and making it about the width of Mary Ward, and then I could just grab this and size it up to be roughly the same width as my actual logo. The spacing between these two lines is too much, so I did just Command A inside, or just click and drag over everything to get it all selected inside that. And the letter spacing is here and the line spacing is here, and we want to tighten up that line spacing a little bit. I'm actually going to size this down, the design down quite a bit, and I'm going to change the spacing once again, but I'm going to do the letter spacing this time. Something like that, maybe. It'd be good to actually just Command X, take that out, and then bring in another and Command V, and maybe just do this in a separate text box because I wasn't able to line it up the way I wanted to. So let's try this again with the new text box, changing the letter spacing so that it is wider, as wide as Mary Ward, hopefully. Let's see, and I want to visually, let's drag that out a little bit. I want to visually line these things up. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I can custom line it up the way I want to here. And so there's that. And then if we have some elements here, maybe I want to bring in a shape behind it. We can do that with the shapes in the elements area. I want to go to position, layers, and I'm going to bring this below. I'm going to make it black. And then now I'm going to have to make everything that was black white now. So we'll make the M white, make the W white. Oops. That by clicking here, text color. This shape needs to be black now, so I'll click here, black. Grab these shapes. Push Shift on your keyboard, and there's the color there. And then we can change this text color to white. Try to get this other text box selected. Text color white. And there you go. There's a nice logo that we designed in Canva. Just using Canva, no Illustrator. And then in the next video, I'll go over how to use a combination of Illustrator and Canva to create a logo design. Also with your logo design, try to create maybe a font pair of some sort. This one has a font pair kind of between these two. It's the same font, but the fact that this is uppercase versus a lowercase creates enough contrast where they look pretty good. Plus the tracking or the space between the letters is tighter on this one and less tight on this one. So that contrast does create a bit of a font pair in that particular logo. So when you're designing your logo, think of a font pair. You can use different fonts too, like contrasting fonts. Contrasting weights look good too. So yeah, the next video will kind of go over how to do a couple other things with your logo design besides just doing it these two ways, from a pre-made template or just from scratch. We can also do a couple different techniques besides this. So I'll create another video going over those techniques next. All right, talk to you later.